Hey everybody, welcome back to Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz. We're doing our Memory Snow set review. I'm Oliver. I love hentai from Chicago. Joined with my guests, Carmen, Andy, and Brian.
Hey guys, I gotta say,
What's
Ollie,
up?
it's an honor to be here.
Yeah, I'm really happy
Thanks
to
for
be here,
having us.
guys.
It's good to have you.
All right, Andy, get us started here.
Well, all right, if Ollie's okay with it, we got Rem and Ram holding hands. When this card's placed to the stage from your hand, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck. If there's a memory snow, you can add it to your hand and then discard a card. What are those called again?
Rize.
Rizes. Pretty good.
On
This is
play
like
Rize.
Yeah, this is like the first on-play Rize they printed in like forever.
This is a big reason you try not to splash any old ReZero. This card's so good. Like, this profile doesn't exist anymore. For good reason. Good at
I really like these types of cards. I'd give it like an S, honestly. I think it's a draw to the set.
Say so.
Yeah, I'd be like A+. This profile's really good.
Yeah, I don't know about S. I mean, maybe S is a little bit too much.
Yeah,
but...
S is very that's a very generous grade.
I mean, like we said, we haven't seen one.
Like a broken effect, maybe like A++. You know,
yeah,
it's better than A+.
It's a powerful, consistent card that doesn't see play.
Yeah, it's on the
It
cusp.
doesn't see printing much anymore.
Super fucking good.
But yeah,
The fact that you being able to ditch after you reveal is.
Which means if you reveal garbage or duplicative cards, you just grab one and then pitch it. The classic Armin play when you need to mill.
Well, I guess we don't need to run mild the 4K yellow wall anymore in our budget deck. We can just spend $100 for 4 of these.
Yeah, however much this card ends up costing. But yeah, good card, simple card, powerful profile, easy to understand. All right, Brian, you got your best. Go ahead.
Talk about best girl. Perspective of the Gods, Ram. If the the anti-ping
Yes.
is in your memory, it sits at 6K, and it has on reverse. If I believe that's a stock soul, is in your climax zone, on reverse, choose one of your memory snow characters, return it to your hand, and choose one of your characters, and that character gets 1,000 power.
Like Salvage Minami. But it sits at 6K. That part's cool. Yeah, so the running theme with a lot of these cards you're going to see is that it needs this Rem in memory, which, like, you want to do anyway, also extremely fucking annoying, because you have to pay 1 to send it to memory. Which creates this, like, weird stock crunch for the deck, but the fact that it's on Stock Soul makes this a lot better, I think.
What a strange combo this is.
Yeah. Am I reading this card correctly? This reverses something and then bounces one of your characters from field to your hand and gives a power buff.
Yes.
Yeah, so like you want to.
Oh yeah, it's not salvage. Yes.
You want to field like 2 of this probably, and like attack with your off lane first, and then
and then bounce these cards to your hand.
Pop your Rize back to your hand.
You probably only want to field like 1 of this, really.
I know Dean likes this combo. Kept saying that this one combo is good.
This combo's so weird.
Maybe in practice it works better than it reads. Like, I read it as salvage, and I was like, wait a second. Return it to your hand. That's from field.
Yeah, plus it sits at 6K, so like you wouldn't even want to like.
You don't want to bounce this one. You want to bounce something else, because this is protectable. The set has a 2K counter. It's back up to 8K.
So you can
yes, but I mean they can maybe get over one of your lanes. So like in the second reverse lane, maybe you pop the first Rem back to your hand.
Yeah.
You can do like play the on-play Rize, crash it, and then bounce it back, or something like that. Could be cool.
Yeah, it gives
also notable, I guess,
characters.
is it's still pluses if you even if you tie them in power, it'll plus.
Yeah, because you could bounce this.
You could, I guess you could bounce itself. Yeah, you could.
Yeah, it just seems like a waste to bounce itself though.
Because it sits at 6. Yeah.
If you're tying in power, you can bounce it though, so you don't lose it.
Well, ideally you'd want it to plus twice, so you'd want to bounce something else.
Plus, it only sitting at 6K on a stock soul is like,
It's not the best.
I really hate on reverse combos that only sit at 6K. After playing
They are dated.
Alice's Nation a lot.
Yeah, they are dated. Yeah, I don't know. This is interesting.
I mean, we got Best Girl, we got Stoxel. What's more to want?
I'm gonna give it the C plus. This is the fact that it's only one Rem leave everything to me, unlike two, like some other cards, makes it fine. If it was two, it'd be unplayable, I think.
Like, what's the big plussing combo in this set? Like, isn't it
Rem?
The Rem, yeah.
Isn't it like a
Just an
kinda
on-attack,
like,
on-attack look at 3, add 1, goes to level 2 for no reason. And it has
Yeah,
a bunch of
like-
support for being really consistent. It has its problems, though. Like, again, Dean's really hot on this combo for... I don't know, I'll have to pick his brain about it, I guess. But this seems hella wonky to me. But-
I'm just not sure about it.
Yeah, I want to try it out. I think it's cool.
What
it's
would you want to
interesting,
bounce?
But I'd be hard pressed to play this over that other one.
The Rize? Like, you'd want
No,
the
like
Rize.
over the one you just
Oh,
the Rem
yeah.
combo.
I was talking about bounce targets. Like, what would you want to bounce? The Rize, obviously, right? That's a good one.
Maybe a bomb.
Yeah, I
Suicider.
don't know
Like
what
a
else-
climax ditch, like the climax ditch. That card's pretty good because it like buffs, but it doesn't even buff this card because it only buffs Rem and Amelia. So
Works on suiciders. You can actually use it at later levels too. Like maybe if they're level 2 and have an early play out, you can pop back your anti-change. Like you run your
like
anti-change
pop back a
common, pop
bomb,
with your
pop
hand.
it back. The fact that it needs reverse at only 6k though, like Ollie said, that's
Well, you put it in their weak lane in that case. Then
I
you, like,
guess,
ram
yeah.
a bomb into their early play, then run over their shitter with this.
I don't like playing a level 1 climax combo though, where you're going in with the drawback of that my climax combo needs to snipe lanes as opposed to contest lanes. Like the fact that it sits at 6 but also isn't on a global power is like pretty annoying. But I think it's fine. Like, okay.
It's definitely interesting and definitely playable, but I don't think I'd ever run this over the Rem.
Yeah, I think there's got to be something other than the Rem that's better than this. It's
Just you
cool
guys-
though.
You guys wait.
I'm sure there's something you can bounce with this card that's better than the Rize.
I'll find something. Yeah. I'll be looking as we go through these cards. I'll let you.
That
guys
hidden
know.
Ram tech.
Hidden
Yeah,
Ram tech, yeah.
Absolutely.
All right,
All right.
let's move on.
We got this Betty. This is a level 3 assist. All your other memory snow characters get 1500 power. When it's played from hand to stage, you heal, and then you can rest it to look at the top 2 cards of your library, put them back on top in any order. The third effect's really good. Noted this set does not have standby.
When's
ReZero.
It has-
ReZero is not allowed. ReZero is not allowed to have standby.
It has standby, kind of.
Yeah, it has like a pseudo standby, right?
Yeah, it
So-
has the Magia record combo.
So this is your ideal target with that, right? This is a card that has a lot of incremental value to sit on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Every turn this sits on the field, it generates more and more value. Not as like obvious as something as like Alpaca, but
Yeah.
that third effect is a lot nastier than a lot of people give it credit for.
The third effect is really nice. I like that effect more in decks where like I can take advantage of knowing what the top card of my deck is.
Yeah, Memory Snow doesn't really give a shit
Yeah,
as
we
much,
don't really have that, but like having trigger knowledge is valuable in of itself.
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a global 15.
Yeah, and it's a
Um,
heal. If
And
you,
heels on play. I
heal
think
if
it's
you
like
have
a,
to play it
good
from
tech
hand.
card.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine. It's a solid.
It's a nice 1 or 2 of.
I'm gonna give it the B plus because I really like the third effect. Third effect's dank.
Third effect's sick. I like it.
Yeah, pretty simple card again. All right, Ollie, this is you. 3-2.
Okay, this is Ram, heavy drinker. Oh man, it's Carmen.
Hell yeah, let's go.
When
I'm
this
drinking
plays
right
from-
now.
when this
Surprising
plays
no
from
one.
hand to stage, if you have 2 or more other memory stone characters, you may take the top card of your clock and put it in the waiting room. Recollection: if you have 2 of the anti-ping rems in memory, choose a character. Oh, when it attacks, yeah. If you have the 2 rems in memory, choose a character, gets 1k, 1 soul. I don't know why this has a detriment to heal, like a condition to heal.
Yeah,
I guess it's oversized technically.
yeah, because it would be a 9/5, right?
Yeah, but I
Just a way to
I
make
don't
the
think
card.
that condition actually like makes that big of a difference, but
No, it's just weird, right? Like,
yeah, it's just extra text that I feel like only hampers the card.
maybe they wanted it for formatting. Look how the card is. Look how the flavor text is formatted. How it's like right below her chin line.
Oh.
I've seen you laugh, but I've seen them do this with cards before, especially in JP. They're really on the text formatting stuff.
That's true.
I guess they can play with it a lot more than English can. But
I mean, yeah, until we get in English and half the card is covered in text.
yeah, I mean it's gonna go all the way up to her fucking mouth. And the flavor text will be over her mouth. But yeah, this is fine. You can use it to pump a lane to side. It's like a decent one of, I guess, if you're
More
in
damage
red.
modulation.
It's like okay.
I think this competes with the last card for a deck spot.
As just like a one of. I think the Betty is so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah. As like a healer. It just has more value.
I think it comes down to your game plan, though. This is a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, soul modulation is always powerful.
I mean, this it's not an early play. It has a condition to heal. It just seems like it's worse than like almost any other healer you would play. I guess the soul.
This is a double rare too.
Yeah,
this doesn't feel like a double rare.
This literally competes with the last.
Oh, this is a double rare?
Yeah. These are all double rares.
Is Betty a double rare?
What the fuck?
Yeah, Betty is a double rare. Yeah, the soul modulation is cool, but I don't think
like a $2 double rare.
I feel like this is not like something you'd want to spend 2 stock on.
Yeah, maybe if this healed the stock could be a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, or heal to memory. Heal to memory would have been this card.
No,
so much
this is the first of the cards we've seen where you need to have 2 of this rem in your fucking memory. So
yeah,
so
that's even more stock overhead you need.
Yeah, the all these cards where you read them and it's like, oh, 2 of this card in memory, that's fine. I'm gonna do it anyway, right? It creates so much of a larger stock crunch than you think when you're playing the deck. It's the most annoying part about playing memories now, is having to send this rem all the fucking time. It's the biggest pain in the ass about playing a deck. And it's one of the reasons why I ended up I think I'm just gonna keep my JP deck. Probably not gonna end up buying it for English. I personally find it very annoying. I'm really biased against that though, so it might not be as much of a problem for your playstyle or how you like to play Weiss. I don't mean to disparage anything early. We're only in the first 4 cards of red.
I think Brian summed it up the best. It's like it's if you want to, the Betty's better if you want to be more defensive with your top end. The Ram is more aggressively slanted, and I think that's why you would choose to play it.
Yeah, I feel like I wanted to bring that up now because in the red video, if people are jumping around, we probably won't get to exactly why sending this a bunch is a big pain, because that's more of a topic for blue. So I just wanted to note that now. But yeah, we can move on.
I lost our slide.
Here's 17.
Dang it.
Got the Betty. This is you, Andy.
You got Pouting Betty. When the battle opponent of this is reversed, if you have 2 or more other memory snows, you can send this to the memory. Pretty nice. At the beginning of your next draw phase, choose a Beatrice working hard on their own. I gotta actually look that up.
That's this card. Yeah, it's this card. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So she time machines back onto your field, and you choose one of your other characters and give it 1,000 power until the end of your opponent's turn.
Yeah.
This
card's really cool.
Yeah, a lot of interesting effects on this one.
Yeah.
The fact that it time machines and comes back and then pumps something cross turn would work really nicely with the level 1 Ram combo we talked about earlier.
I think level 0 is like the best level to be playing a card like this.
Yeah, it gets.
This is level 1. I would hate this a lot more.
This will get more reverses than you think, but at 2,500 power because it'll snipe any utility card, right? And as long as it's a red bomb or whatever, you don't care about it getting bombed because it's got a memory.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it doesn't matter what timing. It doesn't matter what timing it is.
Yeah, because you'll go to memory first.
You'll go to memory, and then they won't be able to fulfill their condition to stock or clock bomb you. But
it's good against bombs, but I think bombs are weak right now. And this is
in general,
something you're trying to use like an oversize to kill something, but it's not going to. all the time. 'Cause it's
The
only
worst part of
2500.
the card is actually the last part of the effect, because at level 0 you're never going to get value off that. That means you had to get a reverse and then hold board in another lane, in which you could give your Subaru, which is already a 4K level 1 in the center lane, you could put him to 5, in which case your opponent played around that card by just being in another lane because they couldn't kill it.
Yeah, I guess you couldn't even
Yeah.
pump your ram with it.
Yeah,
It
you have
has
to
be on
pump
the
your
field
back
already.
row, because you can't even pump this. You have to pump an other. The other right there is the killer of the card.
I think there's a lot of pretty words on this card,
Yeah.
but
So
it
like
just doesn't really come together.
the big thing about this card is it facilitates tri-fields at 0.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think
Depending
is
on your
pretty
meta.
powerful on its own.
Depending on your meta, you could switch up between this and the next card that we'll look at if you just want to run a generic field plussing 0.
Well, I mean, I feel like these, like the next, I see what the next card is. I feel like they just like fulfill different like roles, right? Like,
yeah.
Probably wouldn't play this card on turn 1 because it's likely, unless your opponent opened bad, like you're not going to get I don't think you're going to get a reverse turn 1 probably.
Probably not if you field this as your only card. So
I just don't. I don't like it. I think it's borderline like unplayable almost.
I think it's like a C+.
I don't think it's completely unplayable,
Yeah,
but
I agree with C+.
it makes your deck worse putting this in your deck.
I've messed with this card a decent bit because Dean also told me that this card is broken or whatever, and like it is better than I thought when I read it, but it's not that much better. I think Memory Snow just has bigger problems to deal with than like whatever 0 card you're running. I keep referencing the Subaru.
It's just like the time of game you would be, the time in the game when you'd be playing this card, as well as I lost my train of thought.
It's fine.
There. Oh,
Whatever.
Yeah. The time in the game you'd be playing this card, it doesn't really, because you're playing it like turn 1 or turn 2. It just doesn't really combo well with the other effects on the card. It's a lot of good effects, but they don't really work well together, especially considering you're playing this on an early turn.
Yeah, I hate that this thing can't buff itself. To like go for
even if you
another
wanted
reverse.
to use it later in the game, you would then have to reverse one of their cards at this 2500.
And I mean, you can't even play this turn 1 anyway because it requires 2 other Memory Snow.
Yeah, you have to fill your field.
You'd have to be going second,
which is why I'm saying this is like better as like a tri-lane facilitator.
Yeah, it's like a 2 of or something that you slam down if you want to tri-lane.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think we can move on here.
Mm-hmm.
Another Ram, Brian.
All right, we've got Ram, weak against cold. It's a mill runner. It mills on Memory Snow trait characters.
She's a fire type. Of course, she's weak to cold.
Does not hit off of events.
Does not.
Just saying.
2,500 power.
Yep, vanilla mill runner.
Vanilla mill runner.
2,000 more than.
Unga bunga, runaway good. B.
Yeah. Right, mill runners are good.
Right there in the B squad.
Yeah, if in the yellow deck, if you weren't required to run that 500 power Petra runner, I'd absolutely run this over it.
Well, you're biased, but I agree.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, you see, he's not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, we can move on. Ram making a funny face. If you have 2 or fewer cards in your stock, this gains 1,500 power. Also better than the yellow 4K.
Look at all these oversizes.
This card's fine. I'm not a fan of 4K. This condition's okay. This is one of the better conditions.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a C+ because I gave the runner a B-. I think runners are a lot better than these.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe right now, like in the current meta, 4Ks are pretty good though.
Because everybody's hot on Goblin Slayer.
4Ks are really good in the current meta. They beat Futabas and beat Goblin Slayer.
I mean, yeah, 4Ks are good against like clean cuts.
Zeros.
Yeah, they're good against clean cut too. They're good against Sal and regular ReZero.
4K is good against everything. 4K broken.
4K too good, too big.
Not basically an oversize. Actually, an oversize.
I still think it's kind of a techie card though. That's
Center
why I'm giving it
4K
a C
1,
in the C range. But I do like it.
Yeah. All right, Ollie. Pull you.
Oh, this is me. Ram, unexpectedly low rating. It's a Savage Brainstorm.
Notably, this is one of the only ways to access your grave consistently in this entire set. Notably, the blue Rem combo is a combo that would be really cool to loop if you could get them back after they die, because they're only 5500s. And I think that alone makes this probably in contention for the best Brainstormers set. The Amelia and Rem Brainstormers are obviously good for other reasons. However, for the Rem combo in a vacuum, I think this might be the best Brainstormer. I'm considering just playing this card. I unfortunately didn't order any, so I have to proxy it because I can't order it.
I like how this is a 2500 power.
Yeah, it's just
vanilla Brainstorm.
Well, because it hits trait, right, instead of just character. If it was just character, it'd be 2K. But because it hits trait, it's 25.
It doesn't have a secondary like beneficial effect though, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so that's why it has more power.
So like you can actually like if you had like a bad open, you can actually like feel in some front row and possibly might not feel that bad.
Yeah. And like
what's the
in this set, I don't think you care.
With?
The Amelia and the tap 2 anti-standby Brainstorm. But again, I think the big thing is the synergy with the Rem level 1 combo. The Rem level 1 combo is, like I said, a combo that was really easy to loop if all you need to do is get the climax again. Because the combo not only hits on Mayo Man, but then Mayo Man gets your climax back, which is a 7-card dig for a climax. We can spoil that now. A climax or a copy of the Rem. So if you want to loop that combo over and over, getting your Rems back is pretty paramount. And like sacking a Brainstorm to get into more Rems is probably optimal since the deck doesn't do much else until it hits level 3. So yeah, I think that alone gives this more merit than it would otherwise have. And also what Ollie said about it being just like 2500 power, you could put this in the front lane and feasibly win a lane as a Brainstorm. So I'm going to give it the B+ because of that synergy with the Rem combo.
Brainstorm.
Yeah, I think it's like not having a second effect is pretty whatever. Like because most Brainstorms don't really usually have like a good second effect, anyways.
Yeah,
I can jive with that. I like what Carmen said. It opens you up to salvage.
Yeah.
In a deck that otherwise can't really salvage well.
All right, moving on. Andy,
next card we got Ram unexpectedly low. Oh no, this is the promo version of the last one. My bad. Ram Fun Banquet. All your level 3 characters in front of this get 2000 power. When you play it from your hand, you can discard a card and pay 1. If you do, search your library for a character with recollection and add it to your hand.
Quite a few characters
for recollection.
Quite a lot of characters have recollection. Anything that keys off that Rem that's in memory, which is a lot of cards, can be searched.
Most of your finishers have like recollection of some kind, right?
Yeah, I think pretty much all the finishers have recollection.
I think that the 2K power is really good with the Rose Wall, the Suba Wall combo, or merge rather. 2K to front, because you probably don't want to field more than 2 of those ever anyway, since they don't really attack.
Yeah, like having an incidental drop searcher just stapled to a
2K
final assist. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's not as limited as it would otherwise be. I think it's fine. I'm gonna slap this with the C+.
What do you think about in like normal ReZero? The fact that you can like search something up with this, and then it's like a drop searcher on a.
Well, this is Magic Trade, I assume, right?
I mean, what do you grab?
I have it pulled up here. It is.
Oh wait, never mind. Magic. No, it doesn't matter. Bath Time Amelia is 10 times better than this card in every way.
Yeah, Bath Time Amelia is objectively better, and like, what are you even grabbing off this?
Bath Time Amelia has 3 effects.
Play.
Draw Ditch. And has Stun Brainstorm.
Also 2K power, right?
Yeah, 2K power to front, Stun Brainstorm, Self-Rest Stun Brainstorm, and Draw Ditch on play. Just objectively better than this card in every way.
I was thinking that card wasn't, that Bath Time wasn't 2K assist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Bath Time is better. But this card's pretty cool too in Memory Snow.
Yeah, it's fine. All right, Ryan, you're up.
This is Subaru Glittering Night Sky. Gets 500 power for each of your other Memory Snow characters. So with a full board, he's sitting at 8,500. He's a 2/1. He has Recollection. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, if you have 2 or more of the anti-ping in your memory, choose one of your characters. It gets 3k until the end of the turn.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah, it's
Gross.
not a fan.
Pretty whatever.
Just F plus, only slightly worse than
Maybe
Lit
maybe
player.
a decent toolboxy card to have with the previous mentioned Ram, which can tutor it up.
I don't think you'd ever field that though. I think if you're playing that Ram, it's to support the Suba wall, despite there being better cards to support the Suba wall. Like that card has dedicated support. I think it's in blue, like some sort of Rem support. It's like a global assist to the Suba wall. And I think that's the only thing you'd be walling with. It's like the biggest thing. It also like plays for 1.
I feel like 2/1s don't get enough credit in general. Like a 2/1 8,500 that gives 3k on play is like a real solid card.
But what are you
good.
doing with that
The
3K
memory
power?
requirement, dude.
But there's like
So
this
bad.
awkward memory requirement on it, and
Yeah,
the deck doesn't even attack with the
the Suba
Mayo
walls.
Man walls or whatever. They
The
don't
Suba
really
walls, yeah.
attack technically, so
They still build stock and deal damage, but yeah, they don't technically attack.
Yeah, like there's just this card just doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, I think
It's at
that
8,500. That's not even enough to kill an early play.
he's big. Something else gets big. They're just bulk bros.
I guess.
Get big.
I think Ollie can agree with me. You played this deck a decent amount, correct?
Yeah, yes.
Like sending the Rem thing is a bigger drawback than I think a lot of people think.
Yeah, sending the Rem to memory is like pretty rough a lot of times.
It's like so fucking annoying.
There are a lot of
getting
games where
one could
there are a
be-
lot of games where you're not even like sending that to memory, so like literally like your combo
Yeah,
turn
until
or-
level 2 or like right before your combo turn or
Yeah.
whatever. Like you're just like, I didn't have the resources to do this all game, and the rest of my cards have been gimped because of the stupid recollection requirement.
Getting 1 in your memory seems pretty easy.
Yeah, it's
but
the
getting
fact that it's 2. Yeah,
2 kind of seems a little tough,
Yeah.
especially by level 2.
the baseline of this
There's
card
only
is
some
too
games where you
low.
just-
It's extra card you have to like select for too.
Yeah, like you have to sculpt to have enough of them to put them in memory, so it like hampers your sculpting all game. Yeah, not a fan. The baseline of the card is too low for me, I think. We can move on here. Who dis? It's me.
Just you.
Alright, we got this Betty. Just a Betty on a pink background. For each of your other memories, no characters, this gets 500 power, so she's going to sit at 9. And then on attack, if you have this gate or door or whatever you want to call it in your climax zone, you can pay 1. If you do, choose a character in your waiting room whose level is 1 plus your level, pseudo standby, place it rested at any slot of your stage. And for the turn, this character gains 2,000 power, so she will swing in at 9, 10, 12. So she'll swing in at 12 and pseudo standby.
This
Note
card
that it
would
comes
be
out rested.
amazing if it wasn't on a level 2.
Yeah, if this was like even a 1-1 combo, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Just, this is too late in the game for this to matter. Especially when the Suba wall exists if you want a big body, because that just plays for 1 and heals you. Like,
Interesting. Could work well in the yellow deck. This can grab the level 3 Subaru and save him for your next turn. So that cuts back the stock requirement on that little off combo pretty dramatically.
well, that's it's on play. On play, salvage the event. Has to come from hand. Yeah, so.
Shocks.
Yeah, I think this just brings out the Betty assist, and that's it. You get to summon the Betty
It's like
assist
your
for
best
1.
target.
Like
Yeah,
Betty
pretty-
waifu
I guess you
only.
can get out. I guess you can get out the Suba wall too.
I kind of hate it, but like it's fine. I think it's mostly my biases.
Yeah, I mean, I love this combo in Magia Record, but that's also on a 1/0.
Yeah, it's like a much better card.
Yeah, also a better payoff.
I could see it being good though. Like if you just wanted to run empty gate just to run empty gate, like
Run like 1, 2 of these.
sometimes. This is just splashes in super easy.
Yeah, if you just needed the plussing trigger. All right, we can move on. I should have put the good art for this one here.
Yeah, I'm sad you
the-
didn't put the good art.
Yeah, this is the finger
Same.
guns.
Same
Yeah,
on you.
Yeah. Who is this? Is this me?
yeah, it's you.
Ram, super artist. If you have another wonderful Subawa statue, this gets 2k power. When this is placed from hand to stage, choose a Rem ideal fusion in your waiting room, place it to any slot in the stage. Climax combo with the door on reverse. You can pay 1. If you have 4 more other Memory Stone characters, you can burn 3. I think this combo is really good, actually.
Yeah, on reverse pay 1
I'm-
burn 3 is solid.
Actually, really shocked that no one really talks about this combo.
Yeah, I think it's like overshadowed by the ridiculousness of the Rem top end.
Well, yeah, that is true, but
Yeah, but this combo's fine. Hold on, I'm fixing the slide. There we go. There we go. We got it.
there
The
we
good
go.
art. But yeah, this combo's fine. This is like totally okay.
Yeah, I mean, pay 1 burn 3 is a super good value.
Yeah.
Just for needing, just for
very good
basically
rate.
just for basically playing the game.
And if you have a Subawal out, it is a 11, 12, swings in 12 base. Like, good enough to sniper reverse. Like, I don't know, what's the Sharo and
Rem
Milky
ideal,
Holmes?
the level 3 Rem do.
That thing's easy enough to get reverses with. Like, on reverse, pay 1, burn 4. Like, those cards are... Yeah, the level 3 Sharo or whatever, and Milky Holmes.
Oh.
Like, I think that's my only real experience with this kind of profile. And, like, getting reverses with that shit is fine.
Yeah.
Like, you feel like one of this, right? Like, because it's also going to pull out this, like, the other one's like a more toolboxy card.
Yeah, the Rem, I'm on that one now. It's when you play it from your hand or by the effect of Ram, you look at X cards equal to the number of your memory snow characters and draw it.
Yeah, so
and,
you dig for your
when
climax.
this card's damage is canceled, pay 1 to deal a damage, but you need to have the Subaru statue.
Yeah, so your field will be this card that doesn't attack but will never overswing, this card that burns for 3, and then the other
This
one
card
which has
with
a cancel
cancel
burn. So you have
Digs for your whatever.
you have the possibility of 5 attacks with a lot of damage modulation.
You could even just like put the Subawa on the back and play another copy of this.
Yeah, you could, just because, you know, it might have outlived its usefulness at that point.
Yeah.
The thing I don't like about it necessarily is that you need 3 specific cards in your front row to combo with.
You don't.
Yeah, you don't.
You don't actually need anything.
You don't need any of them for the combo
Well,
to
I
go
mean,
off.
You
I
just
guess
need
so,
the
but-
Subawa out to get the power.
I guess it's
There's
incentivizing
probably-
you to have like 3 different cards, but I guess the Ram does grab the Rem from your grave.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even need to like pay the additional 1 for the Rem if you don't want to.
I do like the fact that you only
Sure,
need
sure.
1 of this card. Like, you only need 1 to do
Yeah.
a whole thing. I think that's a B plus for me, actually. The fact that I love these cards that like can trip into the rest of their thing, or selectively can trip at all.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Rem digs into your climax makes it even better for me. This is fine, and it has dope art. You just buy the SR. The normal rarity of this
Yeah.
card does not
It's
exist.
like a $3 card.
Yeah, you just buy
Just
this.
get the SR.
You guys better believe I'm playing this card.
Yeah. I don't know.
$50 SR.
I kind of like
would be
this
good.
more than the Rem. The more we talk about it, I kind of like this more than the Rem finisher.
I mean, if you're playing the Subawal package, this seems like a fine inclusion.
Yeah, it's a good trigger too. 'Cause then you get to run like Bookgate.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like my experience with the Rem. It's like, man, on paper that combo is so disgusting, but
But then when you whiff, you're just like, I just
it's
compress my
like,
opponent.
Oh, I just paid 1 to do nothing, or
Yeah, pay 1, do nothing. Pay 1, decompress my opponent.
yeah,
Or compress my opponent, rather.
yeah. I was like, oh, I guess all I do is just fucking
A vanilla swing.
All I did was put cards back into his deck.
Yeah. I think the Rem finisher, when we get to it, it's one of those cards where it's just like those cards that free fresh both players, where you'll tell the stories of when that card won you the game over and over and over again, and you won't tell the other 75% of the time when all it did was free fresh your opponent and do nothing. It's like a card like that. But that's a discussion for blue, I suppose. But yeah, super dope card, really good art. I think we can move on.
Next card, I think this is me. We got the wonderful Subawal statue. Subarashi, as they would say in Nihon, I think. This card can attack if all your other characters are Memory Snow. This card gets 1,000 power and can't be targeted by your opponent's effects. Pretty nice. When he's placed to your stage, either from your hand or by a merge effect, which merge being the same as, I think it's called fusion in English.
Yes, it's the
Um,
same effect.
Off of Gurren Lagann. Yeah, same thing as fusion. You can you get a heal a card. And beginning of your encore step, if he is standing in your front row, reveal the top card of your deck, put it in stock, and deal X damage to your opponent. X is the number of soul trigger icons on that card +2. So it's either going to be burning for 2 or 3.
Yeah, so it attacks without actually attacking.
Attacks, yeah, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Gets around neg soul walls.
Broken.
Yeah, so
can't be chosen by effects, so you can't really anti-change it.
Yeah, so what if I told you this was essentially an 11k uncounterable, un-anti-changeable early play?
Seems pretty good.
Sounds pretty good, right?
When you look at it, the only problem this card has is that you cannot kill cards with it.
Yes, that is a legitimate issue with the card.
Yeah, every time I play this down, it's like, this card is sick. My opponent can't do anything about this. I don't overburn my opponent when swinging this into open lanes. Oh wait, my opponent is just plussing.
Also, you do have to include these kind of shitty cards as part of the merge package.
Yeah, you have to run a hefty merge package. You have to at least run 3 and 3. Like 3-3-3 is fine, or 3-3-4 because you don't probably need 4 of this. If you're running with the Ram, you probably only run 3.
You don't even need. You can run 2 of the Super Wall because it puts them back into your deck.
Yeah, it does put them back into your deck. I don't know. I feel like I end up triggering when that happens. I trigger one.
Technically, you don't even really need to run the merge package. You could just run this card in your deck. It's like an on-play healer that attacks for a precise amount.
Yeah, but it's just, this is not as good if you're not really playing.
You get it at level 2 otherwise if you merge into it.
The best part about merge for this deck is we keep talking about the stock crunch with sending the Rem, right? This is the answer. This is the only answer for the stock crunch. Because this card plays for 1, heals you, your opponent can't answer it, and then it compresses you 2 because of the merge. So it's the compression, it's the heal, and it's the hexproof. And the fact that it gets around Negsoul stuff, which is more popular now in English than ever with Goblin Slayer and Fate, in terms of top decks that you'd expect to run into in a competitive environment, makes this card a lot more well positioned, I think. It's definitely a dank card, but it does have drawbacks. I think that's the thing. People look at it and go oh my god, this is just perfect. It solves all my problems. But the fact that it doesn't attack and can't clear anything is a massive, massive drawback. Because you can't even swing with this if you wanted to. This card cannot attack.
Mm-hmm. You also don't get any value off triggers.
Yeah, you don't get any value off climax triggers, which happens more often than you think. You don't get to draw or trigger pants or trigger door whenever this happens. It just goes into stock, which feels bad, man. If you needed that plus. But ideally you probably filled 1 of this, right? Every time I fielded 2 or more of this, it feels a lot worse than just having 1.
I would never field more than 1 of this, I think.
Yeah.
You could push it into your back row too. If you wanted to actually get an attack on one of your turns, you could just push them into the back row.
Yeah, I think if you're playing 2, you're playing it solely to compress and heal. If you're really sacking out at level 2, playing an additional 1 would be pretty damaging to your opponent, because this card does put you pretty far ahead if you can refresh on that turn, because you're just removing a bunch of cards from your deck and healing at the same time, all for 1 stock, effectively 1 stock and 2 cards. So I don't know, fielding it in multiples though seems kind of dicey. Really cool though. This is a really cool effect. It's a really dank profile. I hated on this profile at first, but after playing it, it is good. It has issues, but I think they're mostly mitigated by the environment that it will play into in English. Moving on. Who this?
I think this is me.
Yeah, go ahead.
we have what is this? Beatrice, Chili Surprise Attack. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, it goes up to 3k for the turn. When this card becomes reversed, if its battle opponent is level 0 or lower, you may reverse that character. So it's a level 0 bomb that sits at 3k on the turn it's played. That's not a horrible profile. It can come down, reverse something, and then threaten a potential reverse the following turn, assuming your opponent's not level 1 at that point, which, knowing Weiss Schwarz, they usually are, but if they're not...
I don't like these gain power bombs. Just like, I don't know, I'd rather have a better effect. Only
Yeah.
buffs itself.
Bombs are kind of weak right now. It doesn't hit the power threshold I want it to hit, which is 3,500.
Yeah, it's
How
like
do you fit this in a deck?
like a D. Like I'd
give it a C minus. Like
Yeah, I
it's
don't
playable,
think
I guess, if you want to bomb, but it's.
I'd rather run the time machine over this card.
I don't know how I'd fit this.
Yeah, I don't.
I'd
know
rather
if
play
I
this in the
prefer
time
it.
machine.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't know. I'd prefer the time machine.
Yeah.
Time machine's a little better than I think it reads, but it's still not great. I don't know. I don't like these cards that are big.
I'd run
and
either
bombs.
card personally,
Yeah, I don't.
but that's just my opinion.
Alrighty. Next, Beatrice. When you play this from the hand to stage, reveal the top card of your library. If it's level 2 or higher, it goes to stock. So if you high roll, free stock. And then when it's placed from hand to stage, you can pay 2 to salvage a memory snow character. I don't like it. Don't like it. Don't like it at all.
I see. It's
Yeah, I mean, it's like...
The fact that it gives you the stock for free. If you get the stock for free, it's just pay 1+.
It is.
I guess.
It's interesting that interesting to me that, again, you can order how you play these effects, right? So if you have a climax 2 down, right, you can pay the 2 and then reveal the top and
Yeah, and
refund
then
your
reveal
stock
your next
eventually.
climax, yeah. No,
I actually don't like that first effect tied to this profile because I think this profile is stronger when it's used as a stock out in case you trigger a climax mid battle.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm sorry, I'm reading the card wrong because it's on play.
Yeah, they're both on play.
But you can use it as like a preemptive stock out. That's kind of what I was saying. Just like pay the 2 first.
Like
and
do the
then
first
get your
effect
stock
second.
back.
Yeah.
You can do that. Yeah.
I don't think it's terrible. I just don't like it.
This profile is like I think you only like this pay 2 salvage is like you only play when there's actually just not much else. And this set,
You
isn't
could
really
also just play it
for,
to get a free stock and not do the second effect.
Here's my experience with the first effect in the set. I don't think there's a single deck in this entire set that builds to a point where it is a 40% higher than 40% chance for you to hit that. Because
Do you have ways to top check?
the only other one is the Betty, where it rearranges,
But the Betty level 3.
which I think is too late for this card to have a meaningful impact on your game. Like, the way that this set ends up building, and this is the reason when we get to the Amelia EP that I'm going to fucking slander that card, and I'm sure everyone will fight me about it in the comments. That card, it has the same first effect, and it's an early play. It never hits on like any reasonable build of the set because you don't run a lot of level 2s and 3s in this set almost at all.
Well, no. That card doesn't have that effect. It's level 0s.
Level 0s, right? It's level if it's level 1 or lower, right? It's the other way.
No,
around.
I think it's only level.
Oh, it's
0s.
only level 0s. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's actually slightly better than this card because it does have exactly like 45% chance to
Yeah.
hit most of the time, which is still not good enough, by the way. So this card is even worse than that to hit, which is why I don't like it as much. I don't think it's that bad. There's some merit to it of what Andy said. I like what Andy said the best. Like that it could be a stock out that maybe refunds you. I think the percentage chance is too low. Maybe I've done too much math on coin flip effects. But yeah, it's just I don't like it.
But Carmen, you love coin flips.
I like Umi. I don't like coin flips anymore. I've been burned by coin flips too many times. But yeah, I don't know. Anything else about this card?
Mm.
Sorry, Betty. D+.
Yeah. All right.
Ollie, tell us about this Roswell.
Ooh. Roswell, faint signs. During your turn, this gets 1k power. Once it attacks, choose the memory stone character 1k 1 level. Pretty unplayable.
The second effect would be a lot better if this set didn't just plus a level randomly on climax combo for like every single level 1 climax combo. I don't think I'm quite in F tier, but it's like a D minus. Only because of the rest of the set, I think.
Yeah, I just don't see why you would play this card. I don't know what it's supposed to be doing.
Well, cost bombs are the nuts right now, right? Because of Fate, in terms of cost bombs that you're expected to see. And like level doesn't do anything against that. Red bombs that you're gonna see often are like, well, Love Live Sunshine. You're gonna see Love Live Sunshine. You're gonna see the Cost Me bomb. I think is the second most prevalent one that you'd see. But like I don't know, the Ram just doesn't care about any of that shit, and neither does the Ram. Like none of the or the Subaru level 1 either. It's like all these level 1s just like randomly gain a level. Seems pretty neg to put this in your deck.
Yeah, I mean, then it just dies on the backswing anyways. So
Yeah.
like, I
Kind
don't
of
know,
whatever.
Seems not good.
Yeah.
Second effect's not bad. It's just I don't think ReZero needs it. It's something. It's like good when it's good in sets where it's good, but
Not
ReZero
here.
and especially Memories Snow doesn't seem like it needs it from what we've seen so far.
If it was like without the level, like a decent amount of power, like 1500 or 2k, then I would probably
Yeah, it's
I
only
would like it a lot
1,000.
more. But 1k 1 level is just most of the time not actually going to do anything.
Speaking of things that give a level randomly, we got this Subaru.
Man, I forgot this did this.
Subaru, My Presence. All of your other Memory Snow characters get 500 power, and when you play him, choose one of your characters, and that character gets a level for the turn.
You play this when you're playing the merge. That's the only time you play it.
That is, yeah.
Yep.
It's
That's what
a
this card is.
it's a
Doesn't
merge.
seem like a good card.
It's a merge. Gets a merge from me.
Yep.
That's it. Don't run it otherwise.
But Global 5 so good.
How many of this do you need to run?
Probably
merge?
three. You could get away with 3-2-2. But I think generally you do 3-3-3.
The fact that you have to run this at like 3 of
Yeah.
to accommodate the merge, that's kind of like points against the merge.
Think of it. Think of it though with the 500 powers. Like if you're playing the Rem combo, your Rems are sitting at 6k, which is like not a bad number to
Yeah,
sit
sitting 6k cross turn. And then if you're running the so the good thing about the merge combo is it makes running the Rem tap 2 brainstorm in non-standby matchups not as bad. So if you decide that your read is that you're going to play a lot of standby, this card along with the other merge pieces makes your Rem tap 2 not as damaging to run. Because you can tap down cards before you merge them, because mergers are acts, and you have an open back row slot too. So like randomly 500 power gives something a level isn't that terrible. You still never run this without the merge package. Like I agree, it's a bad card otherwise, but just something to think about.
Aside from the merge, needing it for merge, I think this is the worst card we've looked at.
Probably between this and the Rosewall we just looked at, like up for debate. The Rosewall's probably better actually.
Yeah, I said like the Rosewall doesn't do this card actually doesn't do anything outside of merge.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's a level 0, so it's not like the hardest thing. As far as being a useless card, I'd rather have a useless level 0 than a useless
something
level 1 or
else,
level
right?
2, but it still takes up deck spots.
All right, we can move on to this Ram here. Who had that? You don't have to waste your thing on that, Andy. Don't steal Ram from Brian.
This looks like Ram after she just read that last Subaru card.
Yeah.
That must be why it comes right after.
Ram Dull Gaze. On play, look at top card, keep it there, or send it to the waiting room. Also on play, mill 2, if it hits a climax, gets 3k. So it's a pseudo mill 3. and it can swing for 5k on the turn it's played. It's okay.
Why, if you want a 3-card dig, why wouldn't you just play another copy of the Rize?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's like this is completely useless because it only buffs this card. Like you can't buff something else. Yeah, it's only this card. Yeah, I hate it because the Rize is in the set. It's like I'm gonna give it the F. Yeah, just this is useless, and there's no standby, so like Surveil loses value. Surveil's like broken in standby decks, and like it's kind of whatever.
It's good.
It's good when you
no matter
salvage.
what?
Well, it's good when you salvage, like at all. But this
It's
this
like
set just doesn't
surveilling's
salvage.
good all, no matter what. And this gives you some deck speed on your first deck, I guess. But like, why not just play the Rize?
Yeah, the Rize is just better because you can stop the Rize at any point. Like you can just stop at 1 if you wanted to. If you just wanted to like try to sack a 5-card brainstorm, it's like honestly better. This, I think, in most situations. Moving on. Betty Blarnos gives all your other memory snow characters 500 power. Repeatable heal. Pay 2, rest this. Repeatable heal. There's no standby in this set, and this set isn't a slow set, so this card is bad.
Yeah.
I think it's that simple. This profile is good in sets that are slow and grindy. Like, I think the most recent thing we did, the Fujimi one, like the Miku, like that card is good in that deck because it not only does a bunch of other fucking things, but the set is slow and needs stockouts. It like stops doing things. I don't think this set stops doing things ever because of the rem that you have to send to memory all the time. So you don't need stockouts, and you don't really care about healing that much. You want to heal that much for like something aggressive, you just play the merge. It's like the most aggressive heal in the set.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have stock to spare to get that extra copy of the anti-ping into your memory, you definitely don't have extra stock to spend healing on this.
Unfortunate. Moving on, Ollie.
Ram more bitter than usual. If all your characters are memory snow, this gains 1k power. When this plays from hand stage, choose a memory snow character and gets 1500 power for the turn. Man, if this was the Rose Wall.
Yeah.
This effect should have just got on the Rose Wall.
Just put this on a level 0.
This is like slightly better, but for this, I would.
This is still bad.
Yep.
This is still garbage. Actually, you get another F. I never run this card.
Yeah.
I'd rather run the LittleAkiba before I ran this card. It's like, ugh. These are some garbage profiles in the center here. These are uncommons? Yikes.
Uncommon.
Can't wait for the commons.
We got Roswell, Evening Drink. Oh, he's pouring it on Puck. That's so rude. During your turn, this card gains 2,000 power, and if the cost of the character opposite of him is 0 or lower, he is unkillable.
This is Remy.
It's a better than normal unkillable profile.
I think this is the best unkillable profile.
They usually sit at 5,500, but
and don't
it's
do
not
anything
killable,
else.
so you don't care that it's weak on their turn.
But no standby.
No standby. Yeah, this card is so good in standby decks, like notably Bang Dream, like the Bang Dream like the Bang Dream deck that's coming, the Poppy Pud deck. That card really gets to shine in that deck, where before it really didn't because you were like playing weird something else standby builds that didn't have a lot of synergy. And this is even worse than that situation because there's no standby at all. But yeah, I think it's like I agree. Like
it's a
D
tech
plus.
card if you want it for it's a tech card against bomb.
It's
decks,
a read.
but...
Yeah, it's like a read card. Yeah.
I've played against that Remy a few times, and it's definitely really annoying when it hits the board.
Yeah, the profile is good. I don't think you play it in this set at all.
Without standby, it just probably isn't worth it.
Yeah, decent profile though. I don't mean to disparage on the profile. I think we've all seen the profile do enough work to know that it's not a gimmick, just a decent profile. Maybe ReZero will get standby one day, and then you don't care that it's off trait. You don't even care that it's off trait because summon it with standby. So, all right, we'll get a green standby. That's the next evolution of Weiss.
Oh, no.
All right.
We have Ram, one memorable day. During your turn, this gets 1,000 power, so it is a 1/1 6,500. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, if you have 2 or more other memory snow characters, you may choose one of the anti-pings in your waiting room and send it to memory.
I would rather pay 1 for the anti-ping.
Did you guys, when you were saying, Ollie and Carmen, you've played this deck a little bit,
Yeah.
and had some trouble getting the Rems into your memory. And did you ever run this card as maybe like a one-of?
No, because
No.
the other effect on the Rem is just pay 1, send it to memory, top check 3, add a card, and you run so many zeros in the memory snow list. Like, you run between 18 and 20, depending on the build, most of the time. Because the best cards in the set are level 3s and level 0s. It's just one of those kinds of sets. But if you just need a lane to attack, and this is like a 1/165 that's like a vanilla cross turn, I would rather just like field garbage in that lane, I think. After
so I guess my question is, considering the difficulty you mentioned earlier about getting enough Rems into your memory, would you consider playing this as a functional 5th copy of Rem?
No.
So it is hard making sure to get the Rems into memory, but it's not bad that I would want to just play a bad card like this to help facilitate it.
And it's not sending the Rem that's hard. It's paying for other things while sending the Rem. And this doesn't make it any cheaper. This doesn't make it any cheaper. It just removes slots from your deck. Like, it's not putting the Rem in memory that's hard. It's the fact that it creates a stock crunch later to do other things. That's kind of
a good answer, guys. Thank you.
So yeah, it's like D
minus.
Yeah, I don't want to give out like a bunch of Fs in a row. This card's not great. If it was costless, it'd be dope. You'd definitely run something out of it, yeah.
Definitely.
But no, not good enough. All right, we got the Rosewall merge piece. Standard merge card, 2/1. When you play it, you get to put up to 2 of the Suba Walls back into your deck. If you're playing this card, make sure you're on top of your Suba Walls. If you have them in your deck, it's just even more free compression, so don't put things back. And then merge, you put the cards on top of each other and put the Suba Wall out, and you get to heal. Card itself is whatever, just like the other one. It eats up deck slots. It costs stock. That part sucks, but the payoff is good. Just like it's just a C. The card on itself.
I find it really hard to like rate these cards because like the card itself like.
Yeah, it's like a package, right? It's like
he doesn't stay on the field.
Yeah, when we get these cards in the reviews, we just kind of move on. We can just move on to the next card. We've already talked about the Suba Wall.
We talked about Suba Wall a lot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ollie, you got this Ram.
Ram gladly spitting poison. When this is placed from hand to stage, or the top card of your library, put it on the top or library or into the waiting room, and it's a level 2 bomb.
Anti-standby.
Yeah, I mean this is a better surveil than the other card.
Yeah, if we hit a standby hellscape and you need to out to standby since your Suba Walls don't attack, you could tech one of this, I guess. Otherwise, it kind of sucks.
Doesn't Memory Snow disincentivize standby?
Already, yeah, by existing.
Yeah.
If you choose to run that card. I think if you choose to not run the Brainstorm, you could run this as an out in a heavy standby meta. Because I think there are drawbacks to running that Brainstorm. We'll get to that when we talk about it. Notably that it is tap 2.
You could just dig your heels in deeper and run this in the anti-standby deck to punish them for hard playing their 2/2s.
Depends on your meta. If you're playing against nothing but Fujimi, yeah, sure. You have some flex spots at 2.
Being a regular bomb is pretty bad, especially since a lot of these level 2 standby targets have hand encore anyways.
Yeah, it's true. It's like only good against the Fujimi style ones that just tank up on power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can move on.
Next card, we got Ram, Caretaker of the Drunk. This ability activates once per turn when your other Rem Drunk is placed from hand to stage. You can put the top card of your library into your stock, and it discard bonds to Drunk Rem. So this is another one of those combos where it allows you to make use of a vanilla card in some meaningful way, I guess. I don't think this is very meaningful.
Meaningful is not a word that I would use. Just give me
not in this case.
You're
I guess that's what they were
8,500
going for,
costless.
but
I like the
Yeah.
flavor, but this is budget only.
Yeah.
This is I have $20. I want to play Weiss budget.
We'll just buy a trial deck of something.
Yeah, you can just buy the normal ReZero trial deck. More functional than this. But yeah. You, Brian.
All right, we have Beatrice, busy. Frontal 500 power assists. When you play a climax, choose a character, and that character gets +1 level and 500 power until end of turn.
Kind of duplicative.
if only this
Yeah.
card had Brainstorm.
If only
Pretty
this
good.
card was a normal Asana's Married Life, I would like it so much more in this set. Because
plus
ev-
one level's kind
Yeah.
of,
Like, I feel like everything in this fucking set randomly gains a goddamn level. What's the point? Like, why print all these duplicative cards that give levels if all your combos are going to gain levels for no reason? Because level 1 is where that's most relevant. I think the only time it's relevant.
You can make your Rem level 3, your level 1 combo into
Yeah.
level 3.
It doesn't matter.
You know, it seems almost counterintuitive if you're playing Memory Snow to snuff out standby decks. Then why would you want to turn their anti-change on by giving levels?
Yeah. It's just dumb. I don't like it.
yeah.
Alright, this Subaru, he's cold. He's really cold. When he becomes reversed, you can pay 1, choose this event, bring it back to your hand. So when he dies,
Pay 1
It's the event.
the event is a 2/0 event that negs one of your opponent's characters 2k. Anywhere
Can
on
hit
the field.
anything.
Can hit anything.
Mm.
If your opponent's hitting you with something 2,000 power or less, that's money counter. Their character dies.
It's not a counter though, is it?
It's
No, it's not a counter. No, it's not a counter. Yeah, worthless. Pay 1.
Yeah.
F plus for pay 1 plus. God, some of these cards are bad.
D because it pluses.
Some of these cards are really bad.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's not the worst.
Killing
hit
Brainstorm
back
for
row,
level 2 is pretty whatever.
You can use it as like a battle trap, kind of just like a pump effect, right? Just like shrink one of their characters and run it over, get over a lane you wouldn't otherwise.
You have so many other cards to be running though. Like we've seen good cards and then like these unbelievably bad cards.
I wouldn't say unbelievably bad. I don't think these are unbelievably
Well,
bad by any
com-
stretch.
I
just
think
don't you have the text
comparatively-
slot for them.
Yeah, like I think comparatively, like the choice is too hard. But like, there's too much opportunity cost to running a package like this.
I guess. But if you commit to it, that's what 3 copies
Just
each.
play
maybe? I don't know.
Abyssals. Like at that point, if you want
No,
to do
why'd I
this, play
When I
Abyssals.
could play ReZero, which is a better set.
I guess it depends what you want to do.
It's pay 1 plus, and the event card can hit back row. It's not completely useless, but
I guess.
I
Hitting
would be
back
interested
row's
to see if
better.
anyone, I'd be interested to see someone tech this into their deck. This little package.
Okay.
It's a challenge to all you
Yeah.
people out there.
Anyways, Beatrice, Corner of the Banquet. On play, gains 1,500 power. When this card reverses battle opponent, if I believe that's a stock soul, is put in your climax zone, you can salvage a Memory Stone character and give another character 1 level.
Wow, this Hotzi translation has a typo.
This is a level 0.
That's pretty whatever. Salvaging at level 0 is pretty whatever.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, timing is bad. I would rather this have been the Rem combo. Or Ram combo.
Yeah.
Like this text on the Ram
Yeah,
combo.
just swap the text and the
Yeah, just literally swap the text on the card. Leaving the powers the same, or whatever. Like, just the combo text. Don't like it! I think I'm on the Andy train. It's F. Not good. Never run this card. Almost always bad.
Next, we got Roswell, the Jurist. When he's played from hand to your field, you can pay 1, discard a card to choose a Memory Snow character in your waiting room and add it back to your hand, and then pump a character by 1,000 power. Seems like a pretty good card in the deck, actually. It drops salvage.
drop salvage.
Yeah, drop
Considering
salvage.
the salvage issue that we mentioned earlier, it seems like
Yeah.
pretty solid.
We've come a long way from this being a $15 PR in Angel Beats.
Yeah.
It's Angel Beats.
Right. I think in the
Never heard
context of
that
the
deck.
set, I agree. It's like a B. The deck does have salvage issues. The only thing is like you have this, which is very similar to the blue climax stitch salvage. So I think you can just pick whatever you want to do. I think the stock, like paying stock to do it in this deck, is a little bit rougher than like basically any other deck. So maybe you do the climax stitch one, but like it's a totally fine choice, totally fine profile. And it's like, you don't have to have a climax in hand to do it. Do whatever you want. Fine. All right, vanilla.
All I got.
No one waste time on this. Yeah, V for vanilla. We can just move on. Yeah. No, we can just skip
Basically
over that.
oversized.
Hey, now you're getting it, Ollie. Now you're getting it.
I've always been
So
saying that.
who did the last one? Is that Andy? It's you, Brian.
Yeah. All right. We have Ram, Precious Liquor.
Hell yeah.
When you use this card's backup, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a memory snow character, put it in your hand and ditch a card. It's Leaf a Punch.
Yeah, baby Leaf a Punch.
Leaf a Punch
okay.
Jr.
Yeah, it's fine.
I like it better than Leaf a Punch. You can use it at level 1. It's only
Yeah, it's
500
fine.
less power.
Kind of down on Leaf a Punch lately. But when it works, it works. You get to look into your opponent's face and say math, and then you just move
Basically a
on.
money counter. Sometimes.
Basically money. It's basically compass. But yeah, it's just Leaf a Punch. All the drawbacks and benefits of such a card. Another vanilla. Not dealing with this. 2/1 Betty. When your other memory snow character attacks, this gains 2,000 power for the turn, so it could possibly swing in for 10-5. And it has Hand Encore. I hate it.
Yeah, I hate it too.
Yeah, hate it.
It's like a trial deck card.
Yeah, it's literally
Does
like a
Memory
trial
Snow
deck
have a
card.
trial deck?
No.
No,
Does
Oh,
not.
I guess they just put all the trial deck cards into into the actual pack.
Yeah,
well, it's only
It's
three
an app, but
colors,
you're not
so-
playing it.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Rosewall, strong enemy. Ruby. I don't know why it's a Ruby friend is, but whatever. 2/2. When it's attacks, if the level of character opposite is 3 or higher, gains 6k power. Pay 1. Put a Puck Great Spirit attack from your stage to the waiting room. Put this in the waiting room. All players put all their front row center characters in the waiting room until the end of your opponent's turn. Players may not place cards to the front row center slot and cannot choose that slot.
What?
This is it's a card.
How do you evaluate a card like this? This is
is
pay
surprising.
3, do nothing for 2 turns? Right?
All their front row center characters into waiting room until the next end.
Your opponent would
Oh,
have had to crash you.
No, I think it's just the middle slot.
It's
Front
just
row
the middle
center
slot.
Oh, just the center slot.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
just the
so-
center. Okay, I thought it was the whole front row.
Front row center. Okay.
So this is objectively bad against GGO dual laners.
Yeah, it is. You get punished super hard by GGO dual laners, yes. But GGO dual laners probably also has 4 climaxes in their stock at any given time. So I think you're fine. This is pretty dank.
Yeah, this is like pretty memey.
It's like I don't like the first effect on this card. I wish it did something else.
Effect would be why is this card not a 2/1? If this was a 2/1, it could maybe be playable in some capacity. But on a 2/2,
Yeah, 2/2 makes it bad. That's why I don't like it. Like
I
if it
don't
were a
understand
2/1,
the effects like don't even make sense with each other. Why is this a level 3 killer that you have to sack on an act?
yeah,
you always get a kill at level 3 no matter what.
I
You were
can
probably
also-
killing that level 3 to begin with.
too spicy 5 me.
I like the second effect a lot. I just wish this was a 2/1 or that
Yeah,
it's not shit in some way.
I don't want to just give question mark. I'm you know what? Gonna give it a fucking rating. This is a D. This is bad. I think this is bad. It's almost F. I think.
I think you're right. It's if it were the whole front row, it could be an extremely spicy card, but just
Yeah, I'm hesitant to score it at all, but like,
yeah, it's
If this was like a 1-0 or a 2-1 or
where all it
something,
did
it's
was the
playable,
second effect.
or the second effect didn't cost stock or something, it could be playable.
You have to have 2 cards for this effect. You're gonna pay 3 overall and sack a card that definitely didn't live cross turn at level 2.
Sack 2 cards.
2 cards, yeah.
Oh yeah, you gotta
It's
sack this.
It's a shame.
Sack
It's
a
a shame
posture.
they wasted such a
Unique effect, yeah.
unique effect on this card.
Oh, this you know what this is? This is anti-bodyguard.
It is
bro.
anti-bodyguard broken.
Rip Reinhardt.
Yeah.
If only
No,
it was
Reinhardt
playable.
Reinhardt can't be targeted.
Does it target?
No.
It doesn't target.
They can't put the Reinhardt there.
They can put the Reinhardt anywhere else.
If they have Reinhardt there already,
Yeah,
you
it
can
kills the
snipe
Reinhardt
it.
if the Reinhardt is there.
They can just put the Reinhardt in their back row. It doesn't
Well-
preemptively deal with Reinhardt.
If they have Reinhardt on their field in the
It
center
says
and they
it
pass
says
turn to you,
cannot choose that slot. That wording is weird. That wording almost makes
Yeah.
you can't move something that slot either.
No, you can't. You can't
Oh,
move
no,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah, it says that. You can't choose
Cannot
it to
be chosen for
move,
playing, moving to, or effects.
move
It's
effects, or
disappeared.
playing.
Yeah, so Reinhardt actually doesn't even do anything.
Whatever. This card's garbage. So, what wasted potential? That's
Seriously.
really. I would wonder if this effect will show up again sometime in a playable fashion and be way too good. But we'll see. It's very interesting.
wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah.
Next card, Peaceful Rest. We talked about this one before. It's not bad, but you're probably only playing it if you're running the
Bonder.
Bonder. If you're not running the Bonder, you're not playing this.
I'm gonna give it a C- just because it kills back row, and there are a lot of decks in English that crutch on back row really, really fucking hard right now. Basically, until movie set comes out, Konosuba comes to mind. After movie set, they won't crutch as hard because they'll be able to find it again whenever they want. Basically,
I'm gonna challenge you on that, Carmen. How can you give this like a C when you gave the Subaru that bonds to it a D-, almost F?
I would rather run the card empty at a high count than run the Subaru as just a random card that might, like, if I was playing it, because, okay, in this theoretical situation, I'm playing a bad deck. I am playing non-optimal cards in my deck, and I'm saying this is a meme deck where all I do is kill my opponent's back row cards and hope they fall apart because they're too stupid to hold extra copies of cards in their hand. I think this card is very good against people that are not prepared for sets that might possibly nuke their back row. And I think that if your opponent is playing this card, you will instantly know.
Seems like a perfectly playable card that you can tack into a deck if you want to run it.
No.
Oh, I see it.
No. You people like drawing cards, and people are stupid. You don't draw cards in Weiss.
Yeah, you can just draw cards.
No,
and play
you can't.
them.
You can't draw
You can
cards.
inherently draw your cards.
You can't draw cards.
You even get a clock every turn.
There's no
two
draw.
more cards.
There's no drawing in Weiss. There's only tutor.
What is this?
This is the Andy and I classic argument where we fight about events. So we'll just cut it off here. Oh no, we have more cards. We have one more card. Or two more cards.
2 more cards.
Damn, is there no yellow PR?
There are no yellow PRs.
Wow, what a shaft.
All right, Brian, you get the last ram. You get the ram again. You've gotten the most rams out of anyone. They knew.
Look at me. Yeah, we got this Memory Snow something Ram. On play, look at up to 2 cards from the top of your opponent's deck, put them back in the same order. When this card's damage is canceled, you may send this card to your stock.
Japan fucking loves this card. They play this card instead of a plussing 0. They play 4 of this in pretty much every
Well,
memory
they're
snow
plussing
list.
zeros the rabbit, isn't it?
Yeah, quote unquote. I mean field plussing when I say that, I guess. Wrong.
Sure.
Yeah, they run this in place of a field plussing 0. They
I don't know, this
literally
card's-
run this at 4.
This
I
card's
guess-
pretty
Pretty
cool.
good card.
I mean,
Yeah, it's fine.
You play this in the rock paper scissors standard deck.
Yeah.
As a searchable tool to enable that deck.
Is that deck Schwartz?
I don't know.
I was gonna say Konosuba's Weiss.
I just know that deck needs a this profile being on a magic character makes that card.
Konosuba's Weiss though, right? And it relies off the what is it
you're right,
event?
Konosuba's
Yeah,
Weiss,
Konosuba's
yeah.
Weiss, yeah.
I don't think
Unfortunately, it
Standard
doesn't work.
cares about.
They do. That's all they care about.
Oh,
Is
weird.
Weiss and Schwartz, yeah. Yeah, it's a dank profile. I like that the effects self-synergize. If you see a climax, you attack with this first. It helps with the stock crunch.
Second.
I think it is worse in English
solid.
than it is in Japan, based on how slow Japan inherently likes to play its level 0 game, where they were like pass turns to each other. It's like really fucking weird. I think it's worse in English, but it's a totally fine card. And I'm sure that because of how much Japan likes this card, you will pay $8 to $10 for this card, which will further de-incentivize you from playing it. But it's a totally fine choice.
I'm going to be honest. I'd pay $8 a copy for this and run 4 copies of it. I could see myself do that.
It's a very you
I like
card.
the card.
Yeah.
I mean,
I knew you would like this one.
Yeah, it's like canary on a body.
it is.
I like that card.
Yeah, that's right. Canary on a body.
All right, last card, Betty. If you have a card in your memory, this is a 6K costless Clock Encore. Huh?
Honestly, okay.
Decent, right?
Is that enough?
I mean, I think.
Is that playable?
6.5 Clock Encore is pretty good.
6K Clock Encore.
6K, yeah, but
That's
even
fine.
6K Clock Encore.
That's fine.
It's okay.
I don't think that's horrible.
It's like a C. Yeah, it's like a playable profile.
Yeah, I mean,
Actually, if I'm going to give this card a C, this has to be a C minus. The previous card is better, but this is fine. Card's totally fine. Clock Encore is good. Keeps your hand broken. Just like Fate. You run this card, you're Fate now. Same thing. Absolutely no difference at all. We made pretty good time, guys. Hour 17. Hour 15, around there. A lot of those cards in the middle were fucking chaff.
yeah.
Now we're halfway done with the set.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like blue is like 50 cards. Like something completely ridiculous. Thankfully blue's really the same way. There are a bunch of cards that work with each other and then a bunch of chaff, so probably be a similar time. Alright, I need to make another drink. That's it for red. We'll see you guys in blue.